Hi guys, it's Tatum. So as you can see, we're using Cernet today. My inspiration is from an old cane I did a while back, same clay. When I did the four-part teardrop Skinner blend, I didn't record the jelly roll when I turned it into a jelly roll. So I have those other two pieces to show you, just so you can see what I did. And as you can see, I explained that up there. Now, the thing with the Cernet, it's really just different to work with. It starts to get like a taffy consistency. Oh, I wanted to tell you, that little white thing you just saw, it was so quick, but basically what that was is it actually has a, it's like what they use, they have glue drops on it. There's glue drops on it. And you can use it for like photo albums, scrapbooking. But I actually, a lot of people do it too. When you get a picture frame, a piece of glass from a picture frame, it's nice to work off of that. And if you use that, those glue dots to hold the corners down, it really works well. So that's why I wanted to pop that in there real quick. But yes, I'm just showing you again, that's what we're using, but I'm just giving you a demonstration on how I got that for people that don't know. But yeah, like I was saying, the whole thing with the Cernet, it gets to be taffy-like, as you can see. Well, it's nice to work with. I mean, really, I think you can do that with Primo too. My pasta machine was broken, so I'm having like the nightmare of nightmares with pasta machines. So this made it a little bit easier working with the Cernet because I was able to roll it and then just smooth it with my hands. And you could probably do that with Primo and stuff like that too. But anyway, so the concept of this cane is more of a blooming petal. So normally you just have your regular petals, right? Either they're a circle or they're a, like the one you just saw that I had already made. Well, this one, when I reduced it, it was more of a square shape. And what I did was I decided that I wanted it to look more like it was blooming, opposed to it just, being, I guess, an example of a flower. What would it look like if you made it out of clay? So I decided to kind of start to roll it into a circle, and then I stopped. So I did curve the edges a little bit, and you're going to see how cool it turned out. So here I'm just showing you how I did the jelly roll with the 4-part. And then it'll jump into the Skinner blend that I was rolling out, the 4-part teardrop Skinner blend. So that was how I got my plug. And I must have lost some footage because, like I said, basically it just jumps into me doing the 4-part. I'm just smoothing it out, trying to get it even. And once you work with clay long enough, you can actually kind of feel the thickness of it. Like you can kind of basically, just like putting it through a pasta machine. So after I had, rolled it up into the jelly roll, I then wrapped it with the Fimo Black. And we're just going to reduce it from there. I'm just trimming up the sides, getting that extra black off. And you know how I feel about my ends. I mean, it doesn't matter what end that you save, like from any part of anything that you make, whether it's from a jelly roll or a full cane or anything like that. Those ends are so unique that you're going to get a totally cool pendant from it. And I really try to press that because, it shows your uniqueness. You can really just add your own touches to it. And the way the colors blend up at the end of the cane, no matter what kind you're using, is always different than the cane that you're designing. And I think that makes it really, really cool and unique. So basically, I just cut 4 3-inch pieces, and you can totally use any size you want. This right here was just to get the pattern in my cane going. So you're free to do however many. You could have did 6 cuts. It doesn't matter. That was just what I did for that. There's no rhyme or reason to it, as you can see right there. It was just to get my design in there. And I had stacked it up again. And I don't think that I did it. I don't think I did another cut. I think I left it because it was getting smaller. It wasn't like a whole bunch of clay. So this was the part I was talking about. I said, okay, well, let me, make my petals, whether they were going to be circle or oval. And so I start to reduce it. And I thought, I wonder if I left it like kind of square shaped, but rounded a little bit of the point, like the sharp points of it. And I was really curious to see what that would come out like. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm rolling it, but not too much. And then I'm just kind of softening those sharp edges a little bit. Not making it completely a circle. Just doing it real easy. Now there is a part 2 to this. I'm going to put out pretty much like back to back because it was starting to get way too long. So I was just looking at referencing my other cane and the way the petals were shaped on that. See, and those ends don't bother me with the striations of the colors. So what am I doing here? Oh, okay. So normally I do 5 petals, 3 inches. You guys, you can do whatever you want. It's whatever you want your flower to look like. My other go-to would be 4. That's just the way I like to do it, but you can do it however you want. Whatever you want to do, it's totally up to you. And sometimes people have a way of making, a 6-petal cane or flower look better than the next person. So it's just trial and error, really. But yeah, those striations, I like keeping them because, like I said, that really changes the end of the cane. So what I did was I stacked my Primo White on top of my Female Black to do the jelly roll in the center for the stem. And I think I ended up grabbing, a different one because I needed it a little bit bigger. But what I wanted to say about this was, bottom line is because we're making this so small, I'm telling you, that doesn't have to be perfect. The cut doesn't have to be perfect due to us reducing the jelly roll so thin. So the Primo White and Female Black are stacked for the jelly roll. And as you can see, it's just basically me just starting to, reduce it down. And like I said, it doesn't matter about the inside. I mean, even though it was off and you could see like I had put a piece of white on top of there and blah, 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 it doesn't matter. It's because we're going to take it out so small that you're not even going to see that. So clay is super forgiving, and there are some people, and I learned this from watching Susan. I learned a lot of my lessons, from her, from watching her, and basically, like she says, there are some people that like to be precise. I don't do that. I mean, I'll give you the basics, but if you need precise measurements, that just is going to have to come with your experience, like what you're working with, because I eyeball it, guys. And in the beginning, I didn't. I was messing up left and right, but I still never measured. I still never said, oh, I need this much clay. I'm just not the person to teach you in that way. Just, again, make sure your stem is properly proportioned to the petals. The center of the cane won't reduce. So you have to remember that. You don't want a big old stem in the middle and your petals are little. It'll just ruin the cane. So make sure your proportion is correct to the petal. I checked it and now I said, okay, nope, that was too big. So I went back in and made it smaller. Now, the way that I decided to do this, because I wanted it to be a blooming petal cane, was I did it on one of its sides. Even though I kind of rounded the sharp square edges, as you can see, I'm still using this, which would have been the square, but it's more softer now. So I'm still using that corner is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, I can't explain that part too well. So to me, when I look at it, I see more of a blooming petal, blooming petals, I should say. This started to get super soft. What I was explaining there was if you did want to do six petals, all you have to do, because you already have 3, is cut it in half. Just take the stem out and just, put it back to back, and then you have 6. You'll put the stem back in, but if you just cut it in half and stick it together, then you'll have 2 stems and 6 petals. So let's make sure you take one of the stems out if you want to do 6 petals. But yeah, this started getting I'm sorry, I'm out of frame, you guys. But yeah, so this started to get really soft, this Cernet. I'm not crazy about doing canes with it. So I decided to use the Primo Pearl to pack around the petals. And in the other cane, I actually used the Champagne. As you can see, it's a lot lighter around the petals when I packed. I decided to just use the Primo Pearl. You can use whatever color you want. If you want to put purple in there, you can. As long as especially if you really are happy with your petal shape, I think it's really important to pack that clay in there. Because, I've made plenty of canes without packing the petals. But when you really start to get a lot better at it, it's really important to pack. Now, I want to tell you, I was watching Donna Cato the other day, and she was talking about when people are reducing reducing a piece of clay into a triangle, a lot of times they squeeze up at the top, right? And just they just squeeze in the top of it to make that point. When technically what you're supposed to do is, as you squeeze the top, you want to press that down on the table. So you're not just pinching the top. you are actually squeezing and pressing down. See how I'm showing you? Squeeze and press it down into the table. She said that's the proper way, and I really did notice a really big difference. I think when you're learning, like when I first started making canes, or when I started doing polymer clay, somebody asked me in one of the comments what I had started, how I got started, like what did I, do first. And basically what I did was I got familiar with the clay and the way it feels and how it is in your hand and how to maneuver it by making little trinket dishes and bracelets. And when I look back at some of the bracelets that I that I used to have, that I made in the beginning, oh Lord have mercy. Like I actually thought they were good for somebody that never did clay before, but it's funny. I really think that's the best way to go because you do get more of a, different kinds of techniques with a bracelet, like that you could learn. So opposed to just like making a charm or a pendant, the bracelet's going to teach you how to, use the right proportions of clay, what looks good with what, how to bake it without maybe getting bubbles. There's just so many things, and that's the best thing I can recommend. I know that bottom looks crazy, but wait till you see the pendants I get from it. But yeah, that's my recommendation. I'm so sorry I'm out of frame. Now, normally when you guys saw how I packed, if you watched my last video, I was getting so frustrated with the mushiness of this Cernit that I just wanted to get this done and packed, and I had some of the triangles already done, so I just started sticking them on backwards once I put them between my petals. And you can just trim it off, to make it, to get those points off. Because I did put them on backwards. I was just like getting frustrated because it was just like so warm. And, when you're in the middle of crafting, it's like you don't want to just stop. Like it just doesn't work that way. But, so yeah, like I said, all right, well, since I started it that way, let me finish it that way. So I went ahead and I made some, more of the triangles and put them on in that goofy way, backwards. Do not recommend this. I know better than to do this. But whatever. I'm going to show you what I'm very transparent, honest person, and I'm not going to try to doctor up my video just to make it look like I'm perfect and, not show you my goofy crap that I do. But yeah, normally I wouldn't do that though. I know better than that. So I was just trying to get it done. So just kind of laziness on my part. A little bit, or in my brain I thought it made sense. I don't know what I was thinking. And another thing too, I'm not too worried about the evenness of the, obviously I packed my petals. This is more of there's no it doesn't have to be perfect. That's not what I'm looking for in this cane. I'm looking for, see, this was my brilliant idea. Oh, you gotta love it. Yeah, just be careful there, Tate. You might end up cutting a big chunk of your cane. This is why you don't do it. I'm feeling good about myself, guys. I'm like, I got this. But yeah, I'm not worried about precision and the amounts because this isn't that kind of cane. It's just, you'll see once I wrap it in the end what I mean. And here's my example. Yep, you didn't see that. But you did. So just laid it back down again. I'm like, right, frick it. I'm just going to make it freaking flat. Looking like an MF professional. But that's how forgiving clay is. It's like the best medium to work with. It's just like, it's fine. Just stick me here and we'll make it work, creator. Now, normally what I would have done after, I made that even and rolled it out and all that kind of stuff, like I'm doing here, you could wrap that again if you do want it more perfect, like where it looks more even. But like I said, that wasn't a big deal to me, and it actually, you can't even tell in the end. God, girl, get in the frame. Jeez. So this is my Fimo black with the Primo white stacked on top. Guys, when I made this video, I didn't have, or this cane, I didn't have my pasta machine. The one I had bought off Amazon broke, and I should have known when it was coming with all this extra crap that was a red flag. So I said, okay, let me order another one. Guys, I just ordered it, and it's already broken, and I'm so frustrated because I had two of them from I had bought from the AC Moore when I was in New Jersey before Michaels bought them out, and they were perfectly fine from Sculpey. And but when I moved, unfortunately, there was a lot of things I had to leave behind under certain circumstances, and so I had purchased these two other ones from Amazon, and the only reason I had to buy the second one was because I literally had the first one for maybe I got 3 uses out of it, and the things popped. Oh jeez, I tore that down at the bottom. But this part doesn't matter either, because you don't want this perfectly, evenly round. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen somebody do a rose petal cane. It's kind of the same concept where where you're basically, just you're taking another piece and you're putting it over the crease where it had ended. So I think this is about going to be finished up in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and get the next one ready so we could see all the neat stuff that we were able to make with this. I'm so sorry I'm out of frame, you guys. I don't know why. I thought I had fixed it. I'll try to go back in and see how I covered that like that. You put it over the seam. That's kind of how you do like a rose petal cane. I'm going to just reduce it down. Still talking about that end. Oh, baby. See, it's much different than, wait till you see the difference, how it looks from the regular cane. The regular petals. Like, to me, that's so cool, that bottom piece. Now, I don't want to use the whole cane, so I cut it in half, because I'll, we use half for one part, half for a different kind of look. But you can see now how the petals look like they're bloomed. So I'm going to put a surprise at the end. His name is Topi, our new puppy. So I have Tally, Yorkie toy fox, and Topi is a Yorkie teddy bear. And he is 9 weeks old. Come on, baby, yeah. Come on, buddy. Go get her. Go get her. Topi, go get Tally. Where's Tally? Where's Tally? There she is. Go get her. Come on, Topi. Topi. Come on, buddy. Yeah, come on. Good boy. It's okay, bud. You got nothing to be scared of. We got you. Topi, go get Tally. Oh, what is it, buddy? Come on, Topi, come on.
Changes of body language or other indicators that